Alright, welcome back to another update video. Wiring is done. It might look a little messy still, only because of the gauges. I kind of have them just rigged up because I was wiring them up. So I'm going to have the control for the DEFI gauges in the center console. Wiring ran through the middle, and there'll be a gauge pod somewhere where the AC climate control would be, hopefully, if not on the dash itself. But besides that, everything was already loomed up, mounted up. Everything seems to be in place. Nothing's gonna fall off or anything. Fuse box, like I said, I just need it for those two headlight fuses, and then I forgot these big fuses were for, but I need those two. And then the splitter, and then that's it. That's mounted up fine, works, looks way better than last time. I'll probably show it one more time, but for now, it's done. So now we're gonna get started on the bay. Now I just gotta do the wiring for my headlights, turn signals, and marker bulbs. We're getting rid of the E-fans, so that wiring is gonna go, the thicker one. I had an old brand new clutch from, I must have bought it way back then for some reason. Still have it. I'm gonna bolt it up to the G-Tech fan, GK Tech. And then we'll get rid of the clutch fan, the electric fans, because honestly, these work really good, but these are really ghetto rigged in here to make work, so they can bolt up. These are off like a newer 07, 08 Maxima or Altima that I made work. One bolt lined up, other one didn't line up. It's safe, it's secured in here, but it just doesn't look like it belongs there. But they worked. Held my temperatures at like 180 in the summertime. With both of them running, so they're pretty good. If they were properly fitted, it would be even better. Then we'll go back to the clutch fan. Less of a hassle. I don't gotta worry about shit like forgetting to turn my switch off. I'm gonna remount that regulator somewhere there so it looks a little better. That line's leaking anyway, so I gotta replace that. Do some piping work on off the turbo to the MAV, and then maybe get the fan shroud if I can find one, or have someone make one. And get this intercooler re-welded. Just some work, but yeah, officially starting on the bay. Starting on the bay now.
Because you walking out in public and you hear them talking rubbish. I just wanna ride through the city in a cutlass. Find a big butt bitch somewhere, get my nuts kissed. That's the way it goes when you party just like I do. Bitches on my dick that used to brush me off in high school. Take over the world when I'm on my Donald Trump shit. Look at all this money, ain't that some shit?
Alright, old fans are out. Like I said, these are off like a Maxima or Altima, like an 07 I believe, that I made work. One of the bottom nipples lined up perfectly with the radiator. The other one had to be kind of extended with this bracket I made. This bolted up to the stock location, and this other bracket helped hold it in. And that was that. And then one 10mm bolt on top. That was it. Sturdy, never fell off, worked fine, but just weren't designed for this car. So they're coming out, clutch fan going back in. Alright, my clutch fan is back in place. It's a lot smaller than I remember it being, lots of clearance. I'm sure once the shroud's in it, it should be you won't see it. It'll look a little cleaner up in here. So that's done. Started looming up the harness that goes through here. Most of it's loomed up already. I got all the way to that headlight. And I had just tucked it underneath here and ran all the way across the bottom of the radiator support. So now I'm down to, I need to work on this corner. These are all my lights for this specific corner: low beam, high beam, markers, and turn signal. This is how it looks currently. It looks a little messy. It works, but looks messy, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna clean it up. And then I'm sure what I do here I'm gonna need to do on the other side too. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Alright, so it's fucking like way later in the day. So we're gonna be playing with some shitty lighting. But I did finish the wiring for the headlights. The loom goes up through here for now. I will tuck it in underneath here when I'm done. But this is everything's kind of just loosely mocked up. The headlights kind of just set in there for now. I ended up, I still need to test it. I matched all the length of the wires, just to make them all even. Same with the grounds. I did that on both driver's side and passenger side. It's gonna be hard to see, but this one actually got loomed all the way down. So this loom goes all the way across and down and then into the car. So right now I'm gonna test the lights, make sure they all work. Alright, so this is why we're redoing this. So this piping, the way I did it was kind of quick and ghetto. I ended up using 90-degree couplers from AutoZone, which they're like not even aluminum, they were like a plastic, and they end up getting like really fucking melted, and they don't seal properly because you gotta keep tying them, and eventually they start melting from the heat. So I've been wanting to do this for a while. Car ran great, by the way, and didn't cause any issues somehow, but no, it was kind of janky because I always had to tie in this one clamp because it would always break loose, and then this one's covered in a fucking heat wrap because this coupler kept melting. So if I can make them out of aluminum, make a single piece. I used to have coupler to a 90 up to a 90 this way to the MAF, and there we go. So I have some piping left over from previous build, some couplers. I'm gonna try to make this shit work. That way I don't have to fuck with this thing again. So that's why we were doing that. So if I can get this mocked up, I can have it welded at the same time. I'm gonna do whoever I find that knows how to weld aluminum, I can weld it up at the same time. And then once this is mocked up, I can rearrange the piping if I have to. Alright, a couple days later, I ended up doing some engine work that I said I was gonna do. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, intercooler tab needed to be welded back on. That thing's welded, fucking bulky as shit. Shit ain't going anywhere. I organized some of the couplers. I mainly wanted to organize this one because it was oversized. It was like super bulky and looked kind of weird. So I got the proper size one. So that's all good. This intercooler piping to the throttle body, I made it fit a little better so it's not jamming up against the radiator hose as much. I think I'm going to raise the radiator up a little bit so it gives it a little more clearance, but it's way better than before. And I think my motor mouse that I used actually raised the engine a little bit. That's why it's kind of really close to it, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. Fuel pressure regulator, got a new line for that, so now it's not leaking. I'm going to move that, put it in a place where it looks better. That'll be later once I pull the engine out. The piping from the MAF to the throttle to the turbo, I already did that, so it's just one piece. I still need to touch it up, make it look get a better pipe. I just need to make sure that this distance is good enough so it doesn't cause any turbulence. The turbo doesn't cause any turbulence on the MAF, and I don't have any funky, doesn't drive all weird and shit. So alright, so like I was saying, I just turned off the compressor real quick. I need to drive it, make sure it's not going to cause any weird issues. I'm pretty sure that's got good enough distance from the turbo. So that's where I'm at with that. It starts up, idles fine, Just need to get into boost, see if it causes any weird shit, and then once I get on boost and let off the gas, hoping it doesn't make any weird idle issues. But so that's all set. Honestly, the wiring is done inside. It's all pretty much done. Just need to reorganize it, and it just looks a little cluttery right now because of the gauges I just have laying around. The Defi gauges and the 1 AEM gauge. Besides that, it looks better in here. So I'm basically done with the wiring for now. Same with the outside. Got it all tucked up. Reduced down to like just headlight wires coming out from the car. Next step is going to be, I can't drive the car with these big ass wheels, so I'm gonna need to, next step is get tires for the new wheels and mount them up and make them fit. In the front it won't matter because I don't have fenders yet. In the rear I'm gonna have to make them fit, which is gonna be just adding a shit ton of camber, and then that should be in the rear. Super stretched out tire too. And then same with the front, just get tires mounted, and then we can actually move this car, drive it like without pushing it, and then do a test drive, and I'll probably take it to my parents' house and start doing body work, especially in the rear bumper, because if you guys remember, the thing was trashed. I want you to fix that. And then once the body work is done, take the motor out, rebuild it, do some fab work, paint the car in pieces, and then reassemble. So I mean, it's short list, but it's actually still a lot of work. That's where I'm at right now. Alright, so today we're going to get some tires mounted up on the front wheels only. And that is so we can turn the wheel, because those are too fucking fat. And we can drive this to my parents' house. So I can start doing some of the body work. I'm gonna mount these up. They're 10.5 wide. We're doing the 225/40. So it should go on since it's the same size as the back of the FD. And then we'll start making some progress once this gets to my parents' house. Alright, so update on the tires. I'm out of breath right now because I was hammering shit right now. So long story short, tires got mounted, test fit them. I can't turn the steering wheel lock to lock because obviously the offset on these wheels are like a lot more aggressive than the Meisters. So I've been doing some cutting, some hammering. Right now I am hammering this section right here. I cut some slots in it and then I'm hammering it outwards. I'll make it look nice once I get the painting on this shit. I ended up doing the same thing here, slot here and a slot there, and then pounding this little lip up. I'm doing the same thing on the other side, and now I'm just kind of working it so I can get it to go to lock at least. If I have to, I'll mess with the caster, move the whole knuckle a little bit this way. I just don't want to do that too much because I want the fenders. I want to see how the fenders. I want the wheel to be centered on the fender, if that makes any sense. So that's why I don't want to fuck with that too much right now. But if I have to, I will. And then if anyone starts saying that this car is gonna be really unfunctional, I have other cars to drive, and at this point, my 240 is kind of just my fun car. So I just want to give it one last paint job, and maybe have some fun with it at the car shows this time instead of the drift at the track. But so yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'll show you guys pictures or a video when it's all fitted up and I can get it to lock. Alright, so today will be the last clip of the video, I guess. It probably will be. Today we have to drive this to my parents' house. I can start on body work and pulling this motor out so I can make the bay look nice and then make the engine look nice. So I gotta get this car ready. I already finished hammering this bitch out as much as I need to so I can get it there. Still need to do a little bit more, but I might need to heat up the metal and then hammer it in. But it should be enough to get me there. I need to make sure the lights are go good, top off my coolant, change the rear tire for something with some meat on them, and then put a license plate in the back, and drive it like this, all ghettoed out like this. I'm gonna take the back road, so I mean, it just shouldn't really have a reason to pull me over unless they do something stupid, but you never know. Cops sometimes come up with some shit that I never knew existed. But I'm sure I can drive without fenders. I mean, I have headlights, but it's daytime. I don't need headlights. But yeah, it should be a quick 15-minute drive. But that's about it. I'll show you guys once I get to my parents' house, and then we'll end it there. Alright, this will probably be the last update for this car. It's the last time we made it to my parents' house. Got these wheels fitted. They look fucking... I think they look fucking dope right now. Just need to get the tires for the rear ones, and we'll get the rear ones on. Car is jacked up in the rear, that's why it looks like this. These wheels look sick. So I'm doing that, and then right now I'm just doing body work on the rear bumper, which it's gonna take a while because it's pretty beat up. But just kind of learning as I go. I don't really know how to do fiberglass. I'm just kind of watch a couple of videos, and I've done some small shit on my car here every once in a while. So it's about it. Just preparing this, kind of boring, but be the last update, and then hopefully next one I have the front fenders and the rear wheels on at least.